I'm super excited. Can't wait for you guys to hear this interview. Darren is an awesome guy. Besides his amazing voice with his insane Southern drawl, he is also super experienced and knowledgeable about servant leadership, associating yourself with the right people, and building a culture of like-minded individuals to surround and encourage you. And I can't wait for y'all to hear his experiences and more with that. So let's get into it. So Darren, I know you're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me why you're still a Cowboys fan right now with everything going on with the team.
I think in today's fickle society where loyalty is a thing of the past, so to speak, unfortunately, at the recording of this is like a throwback Thursday, so to speak. So I believe in loyalty where you stick with people through the good, the bad, the ugly, and you find a way to work it out and to take it to the next level. So when it comes to a franchise, I grew up looking at their franchise. And so with the ebbs and flows of what's going on with them internally or whatnot, it's not ideal, but at the same time, I believe in sticking with them till we pull it out, man.
And so you're also a UT fan too, right?
Absolutely. Hook 'em horns. So yes, if you can't hear from the Southern drawl like Tim McGraw, I am a Southerner, Texas native all the way through. So, what's better, what God bless us with, than the Dallas Cowboys. And then on the collegiate level, the Texas Longhorns. So burn orange too as well.
How do you feel about Arch Manning as the quarterback over there right now?
I'm ecstatic about Arch. Really wish he could have had more playing time. Actually, this past season, I think it could have been quite a bit different. But I really respect how poised he is and how he's positioned to prosper by being able to have patience, to sit back, allow a seasoned quarterback to be able to go, and so he can be able to earn his rights. Also build camaraderie with the team, win the locker room. So I think that it's going to be an exciting year of college football.
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel that. I'm excited, especially with the amount of growth that he's had.
Oh, yeah.
As going from, because he was still a freshman this year, too.
Yes. He was able to redshirt, yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine how it'll be as a junior and senior.
Oh, man, come on, man. It's going to be
with 4 years of development under the UT program.
Yeah, so it's good time. Hopefully we'll be able to have some rings and to be able to hoist the trophy or whatnot. And, I'm excited about that. Excited about Sark, the whole program, the whole nine, what they're building there. It's, even though they're in the SEC right now, they've been building the program for a while, and with them just shy of winning it all, it shows the growth that the program has been able to have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but moving forward, what do you do outside of PHP and life insurance?
Okay. Great question, Mikey. So actually, I was blessed and honored to be able to found Self-Publish in 30 Days. We are #1 book coaches for 7-figure entrepreneurs who want to share their story with the world. So we're able to get, I like to call it, the byproduct of it is by assisting them doing their books, we're able to have like a personal development. It's like we got a great mastermind just included as a bonus for us by doing the books for these extraordinary individuals who are titans of industry that we get to work with. So I was able to get into that particular business, and that's what I do, man. So I'm excited helping people share their story. And then even with the life insurance component, to me, it's just an extension of that. It's because we already have helped people share their story in written word and also with ebooks and things like that, audiobooks. But now it's also allowing for us to be able to create a different narrative too as well, and have some innovative storytelling by allowing for people to be able to have financial freedom or to be able to not worry with some of the products and services that we offer in life insurance. So that's changing the directory or whatnot and the destiny of so many families. So it's, even though it looked like it doesn't go together, the two go together because it's still a power story.
Yeah. And so are you Christian?
You said what now?
Are you Christian?
Yes.
So I saw when I was researching that you went to East Texas Theological Seminary.
Yes.
What's the most important thing that you feel that you took away from there that you still use in your personal life and your business?
Okay. Good homework, Mikey. So I would say what I took from ETTS would be, more than anything, the willingness to not give up. Because there were times during that coursework that I had to stick it out with some of the assignments, and also some of the things I had outside with business and other things like that, that it was so many times that I was thinking about throwing in the towel. I mean, I get to doing a project and like, man, why am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, this has, it's not like it would affect my career if I didn't do it. I just kept coming up with all kind of excuses in my head to quit, but I didn't quit. And so I also had a good, solid crew of professors and leaders that was there that really assisted too as well. And so it really helped me out by doing that, because that's transferable. So now when it comes to business, when it comes to life, I feel like that I have a resilience. I believe that I had the dexterity to be able to withstand some tough times. So when life pinch you, I don't just crawl up under it and fall down. It's because things like that, it stick with you to be able to continue to pursue till you get it accomplished.
And so going forward with that, why go to seminary? Why did you go to seminary in the first place?
Well, I went to seminary because I was really having an awakening and wanted to learn and grow more. I felt like it was a great opportunity. Some of the professors that I had met them outside of the seminary. And so I was just seeing the impact that they were having too as well. And then also I wanted to make sure that I locked in and got it, because I had went to Stephen F. Austin State University too as well. And I was like shy of a year from just graduating from there. But I was also thinking to myself, like, man, I'm not going to do anything with the particular degree I have, but I still should have finished. It's for the same reason that I think it was imperative for me to finish when I went to seminary, because I didn't finish there. So I didn't want to create a habit of quitting the right things. But it was like a rush in real estate during that particular time. And I had a mentor. Well, still got that mentor that he had been at college with me at Stephen F. Austin State University. And he went to Houston, which he was from, and he created a real estate firm. And that's when real estate was really booming. It's just like basically anybody you knew who was doing mortgages or real estate, just like it was like a gold rush before 07 and 08 happened and everything kind of fell down. But with that being said, that's the reason I went into, because I wanted to learn more. I wanted to grow more for my relationship with God. I didn't want to just have a surface level, and I wanted to dive deeper into seminary. So if I could be able to leverage that in my personal life, or if it was me sharing in ministry or whatever it may be, that I felt like I was more equipped or whatnot to be able to do the good works.
Awesome. And so how did that affect your relationship with your wife?
Well, I think it helped because, I believe that the closer that I learned and understood more about the love of God, it was allowed for me to be a better husband, better father, things like that too as well. So I think it helped tremendously. And also she was able to see me work through some things, because she saw a lot of the other things that were involved behind the scenes, where I had to, have a labor of love, because at that time we had someone like a newborn at the house around that same time. So it was like, it wasn't for the faint of heart, for sleep, work, I'm saying, things with her too as well that was going on, where the shifting of her body after pregnancy and things like that. So we were able to make it through that, man. So I'm truly grateful for that.
And so how did you find PHP? Like who introduced you to PHP?
Okay, well, that's an interesting story. So
tell me more.
I'm at a mastermind. So it's in the beginning of the pandemic. So a lot of people, it was uncertainty. I just knew that I had to grow my business. I couldn't wait. I didn't want to just wait on the government just to say, hey, you sit here for 6 months and we might send you a check for $500 or $600 or $1,200, whatever it may be. I knew that we needed more than that. I had staff. And I was learning and growing from Patrick Bet-David virtually or whatnot through his YouTube channel, things like that. And so he had an event that popped up. It was like, hey, basically I had events myself, and a lot of my events were shut down because most of the world was shut down. But a few of the places that were still open for business for the most part was Texas and Florida. And so he had just relocated. Patrick Bet-David had just relocated to Florida, and he was having this event called Sales Leadership Summit, SLS. It was the first one at Breakers or whatnot in Palm Beach. Now, it's the saying that, you can have events for people in different industries in say, for instance, Orlando, Miami, Vegas, things like that. But world leaders go to Breakers. Most of the presidents, in the early 1900s, early 1900s or whatnot, they all attended breakers for the
Really?
most part. A lot of world leaders. So he had the event there. It was less than
That's
100
massive.
people. So at that event, while I'm bringing it up, even though they had some social distancing and things like that, I'm at a brunch. I'm at a table, this big round table. And so I'm going and asking, okay, hey, what do you do? Boom, 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 or whatnot. And I'm sharing, hey, what my name is, what I do, the whole nine. Goes down about 6, 7 people. And then this is big Filipino guy, tall Filipino guy, one of the biggest Filipino guys I ever met in my life or whatnot. And so he's there and he's like, hey, Darren, I don't think it's by accident, brother. I think God put us at this table together. I've been working on the book for 12 years and hadn't got it done. So I think it's fate for us to meet here during this particular time. So we exchanged numbers. I gave him a book of another project that I had been working on or whatnot for him to have it. Fast forward after that, at the beginning of that following year, we got together, was able to create a book called Faith Made Millionaire. August of that year, they had what we call Big Event, which is the national event that the company has in Las Vegas. Had a lot of great speakers and things like that. And so I attended to be able to be of service and to be able to help with the book launch for Matt Sapala, seeing that he was a titan in that particular industry to be able to just to help. But with me being there, I was able to catch the hope that the company brought to American families, middle class and below. I was able to see the change that they were making.
See the vision.
To see the vision of the company. And then when I left there, I was like, man, this was pretty cool. So that following year, because that was in August, that following year, at the top of that year, I thought to myself, you know what? I want to do something a little bit different that I can have my family be included on. And because everybody's not going to be in publishing, but I want to create an industry that I know that will be recession-proof, that could be beneficial. Who better to call than the guy that I got as a client by Matt Sapala to be able to talk to him? He was able to had me come to a BOM, be able to come in and catch the mission and the vision of the company again. I signed up not knowing everything about it and was off to the races after that, man. Was able to learn as I went.
And so what was your first year like in PHP doing this?
My first year, I would say that it was very interesting. My first year, I really didn't understand the impact that PHP was making. And what I mean by that is that I was able to catch on by showing up, being around a lot of great leaders or whatnot. They got a system for us, the playbook that works. I'd say the most interesting thing that happened to me in that first year was after I left that BOM that I told you about, that business opportunity meeting. That was February 28th. March 1st is my mom's birthday.
Oh, really?
So I left that meeting, went to see my mom at her house, and her and my brother in the room. Before our wife and kids come in, I'm telling my mom and brother casually about some of the things that I learned. And my mom's like, you know what? I wasn't there, but a lot what that guy was saying is true, because currently I just got a memo that the plant that I work at, because it's a coal plant, they're sharing that they're going to shut it down in less than 5 years. Also, I've lost so much money in my 401k that I don't think that I might be able to retire. I might have to come stay with you and your brother. That was alarming that my mom was telling me something like that on her birthday. I said, well, Mom, you know what? I know Matt in this book, Faith Made Millionaire, shared and made reference to one of his favorite clients, which is his mom, and what he was able to do for her where she didn't lose any money in her retirement. I said, let me see what I can do, see if I can schedule something with you and his wife, Sheena, to be able to see what they can do to help assist you. Moving forward from there, I was able to get my mom on the Zoom, even though she was reluctant. I don't know these people. I don't know what they're talking about. Say, hey, if you could just get on. She got on. At the end of the call, Mikey, this is the thing that really stood out to me. To be the oldest son and my mom raising me and my brothers, to see my mom with tears in the eyes and saying, my baby, you always said that you was going to help retire your mom. You had it on your vision board. Now, it didn't come through sports or anything else. God allowed this information to transform my situation. So early on, it gave me a conviction where some people are just trying to wonder about the company. And I think the success I've been able to have is contributed to, I truly have conviction that the products and services that we offer to people are truly life-changing. And I think some people, they're allowing the thoughts of people who don't even know the industry to dictate how they feel about it, where I have a conviction that is relentless now because I saw what it did for my own mom.
Yeah. And so that's amazing to hear, man.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel hearing that from your mom?
It was powerful, man. And even as a grown man, it was a bottle of emotions, because I welled up, because it's like, wow, I was able to contribute. And I thought to myself, what if I didn't go to that meeting? What if I let arrogance? I thought I was going there for me, not knowing God had it set up that I was going to be able to help assist my mom. Fast forward a year later, my mom sent a message to us. Hey, glory, hallelujah. Thank God. You know what? I had 0 losses. So regardless of what happened in the stock market, regardless of what happened with Bitcoin, regardless of the elections, the swings, regardless of what was happening on the Gaza Strip, my mom had 0 losses. And she was able to add $18,000 to her retirement that's going to be able to continue to compound each year that she has. So to me, man, it was just an overwhelming feeling that I was able to participate and give back to somebody who has given so much to me.
And so do you think this is a simple industry to get started in?
Oh yeah, I think it's a simple industry if you make it simple. I think it's in the eye of the beholder, because if you're coachable, what I mean is if you're willing to listen and learn. One thing that I liked about Matt in his book, the leader Patrick B. David or whatnot, who founded the company and also founded Valuetainment, is one of the number one entrepreneurship business podcasts in the world. One thing that he shared about Matt and Sheena Sapala is that out of all the people that he's consulted around the world, all the people that he's had in business, and I'm talking about tens of thousands, they were the most coachable. I'm able to attest that because he left ego, pride, all the accolades, all the awards, all the money all the people he's helped make money, all the people that he protected, he left that at the door. He was totally coachable when it came to the book process. So I was able to watch that, where he humbled himself totally to the process and was submissive to it to be able to get the project done. So I think being able to watch him in that light, when I came into his world, I was willing to do the same thing. I didn't bring Darren as the number one book coach for 7-figure entrepreneurs. I didn't bring that to the equation. I didn't bring all the accolades and things like that.
You just brought Darren Palmer,
I just brought Darren,
the person.
Willing to serve, willing to learn. I'm willing to execute. I know I'm not going to understand it all in one day, but I know what I'm supposed to do today because you told me, you gave me a playbook. I know what I need to do on day 7. I know what my 30 days should look like. I know not to get distracted by what others think, even though they haven't been in the industry. And I know just to keep moving forward, and I was able to see great results because of that.
And so that Matt actually exemplifies one of my personal favorite things about PHP, which is the servant leadership.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it's very biblical, and also that's how you grow. That's how you raise better people.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be a servant. You have to be a servant to them.
Yeah.
You have to be a servant to as a leader.
Yeah, I like that, Mikey. That servant leadership is everything, man. When you come in with that perspective, that lens, and I think what you just brought up is that's also where the alignment was, because a lot of things that were pillars for my life outside of the company, it was refreshing to see that, oh, wow, I found a tribe. I found people from different ethnic background, different socioeconomic levels who were on one accord for as going after dreams and goals, but also having tangible steps how to pursue that. It's not like a pipe dream. Like you're able to see people take this, some who can't even speak the language, from different backgrounds. It didn't matter. They were able to accomplish the goals and dreams, what meant for them. This was a vehicle to allow for them to do what God had called for them to do.
And that's massive for me personally, because I worked at Walmart for 6, almost 7 years. And at Walmart, Walmart kind of encourages, it's a great place to start working.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad job, but growth is very hard. And there's so many different opinions and feelings on what people have about management, and management can be good or bad. And the management changes how the store is run, essentially. And so if you're not on accord with with a manager, you can lose your job. It's not a fun job to have.
Yep.
And so coming here and seeing everyone around me reflect the same values that I hold is massive. It's not just like physical encouragement, but it's like emotional and spiritual encouragement to be surrounded by like-minded people who are all encouraging me.
That's right, man. I'm totally with you. That's why I don't miss BOMs. I think it's very important. Regardless of what I'm having in other areas of my life, you can see that it helps encourage you, equip you, and empowers you or whatnot to be able to go through. It allows for you to go from daunting to doable for some of the things that you're looking at accomplishing in your life. So being around, like you say, it's a synergy. When you got the right people around, you can't lose, because it goes back to those 3 things, the ABCs, because your future is going to depend on the associations, which we're talking about here at the office as well, and the community that we have, also the books we read, and also the conferences and seminars that we attend. That dictates your future. So, you can be guilty by association. That can be a good thing, And also it can be a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
but in the right environment, it definitely allows for you to be able to go to the next level.
And going more on to that, to the conferences, we just got back from our conference in Atlanta, our
Awesome.
regional conference for MSM.
Yep.
It was awesome to see you up there on stage, getting your watch, getting your 50K watch,
Yeah.
giving that speech.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
It was, I think it was an experience that I will forever cherish, because with something that I'm doing part-time, looking at moving and going in full-time with it, it was proof of concept. So that the process does work, because here it is, a guy that was in the publishing industry, had no financial services background at all. And to see what was accomplished in that short amount of time, while basically to me is more of like an internship, because I still didn't know a lot of the things what I need to know for the industry. But you got a support group. You got people with over, 2 or 3 decades worth of experiences in financial services who are able to help assist you, able to give you clarity. You got carriers that you're able to contact and reach out. They got years of experience too as well. And one of the things I think that's important for people to understand is that we are FMO, like a financial marketing organization.
Yeah.
We are educating people about products and services that are already available. So it's not like that PHP just comes and go into a back room and create a product. No, we're working with the companies just like AIG, Mutual Omaha, National Life Group. Like some of these companies were around before California was even a state. So when you got hundreds of years of experience and billions worth of capital and A+ ratings when it comes into the marketplace, we're just telling middle-class American families or below, here are some products and services that are available to you that you all might not be aware of, because it's typically not taught in school or anything like that. And that's why we find so many people fall astray, or nothing against anybody. But what we see currently happening, whether it's at Walmart, somewhere there are people who are retiring and unfortunately finding themselves being a greeter at Walmart because they got to supplement that income.
Yep.
And that's the mission that we have, is to be able to help assist people so they don't have to have the fear of that, and they can continue to move forward and be able to retire the way that they desire.
And so what was the road like for you to getting to that 50K mountain?
Okay. I would say the road would just, number one, would be coachable. And what I mean by coachability is, I think some people think coachability is just when they feel like it, but being coachable is when you don't agree. Being coachable is when you don't understand. Some people, well, I would do it, but I just need somebody to explain it to me. Well, we can spend forever trying to explain something to you, or you could trust the people who've already done it and realize that they wouldn't lead you astray. So if they're telling you to do something, it's probably because they know it's in your best interest at that particular time. So if I continue to add time by questioning their authority or questioning because I need to understand everything, guess what, Mikey? I don't know until this day how oxygen actually works.
Yeah.
But I'm breathing it to stay alive. I'm not sitting there turning blue in the face like Papa Smurf or whatnot, waiting on my understanding to really grasp what oxygen is. Now, I know the components, I know the certain things that they say it is, but that could be man-made, it could be a myth. I don't really know that, but I'm breathing in, I'm inhaling something that's invisible, that's giving me life.
Yeah.
Even though I've never seen it before. So when it comes to this, I think coachability is number one. And then I think the other component is the power of leveraging. And what I mean by leveraging is partnering with people in the office, great sidelines, people just like yourself, others that's in the office. I don't have to know it all, but leveraging the strengths that others have are definitely a benefit. So I don't have to be greedy, because if I got 100% of nothing, that's still zero. But if I got 50% of 10,000 or 100,000, that is a great benefit to me by being able to have access to that. So leveraging people and being understanding that I don't have to know it all to be able to get a lot done. And then I would say the important thing that helped me, that gave me fuel, was purpose, because 3 P's, purpose, passion, and profit. So wherever you have purpose and you understand that you're benefiting, helping people, it gives you passion. So even though you're working quite a bit, it doesn't seem like as much work, because you're being fulfilled by the work that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So
like if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly. So it's leading to profit. So it profits the people that you're serving. And also the byproduct of it is it's helping you. I believe, Mikey, that wherever you have enough positive impact, it intersects with income.
Mm-hmm.
But limited belief make people think that that's not true. But it's really hard to continue to serve people the right way without the law of reciprocity taking place.
And so, personally the growing pains of trying to start your own business, and how expensive it is to start your own business, to get it up and running, to find clients, leads, all that stuff. So how hard is it to get started in this with PHP?
I'm gonna tell you, it was just like pixie dust or something coming from heaven when I was seeing this, gold pixie dust is that,
mm-hmm.
where it was like, it was one of those moments, Mikey, when we looked at it, because I'm thinking to myself, I know what it is to start up a business. I know the type of capital that you got to put up, along with the hours or whatnot, the elbow grease that it takes, and for me to see where I was having overhead between $30,000 to $50,000 a month or whatnot, and it didn't mean that I was going to get paid because I had overhead like that. And to come into an industry like this that also was recession-proof allowed for me to be able to have less than $500 as a startup fee to be able to get started.
Exactly.
They gave me access to things that I didn't have to worry about legal. I didn't have to worry about compliance. I didn't have to do any of those things. I had to worry about HR. All I had to do, that was already laid down. All I had to do is just actually get started with $199 investment. And as it went, I had to, little things that was added to that $500 overall balance, like, fingerprinting,
licensing
with the state of Texas. But that's with the state of Texas. If I go to a barbershop, if I go to a salon, if I go to a dentist's office or a lawyer's office or a place of business, they're going to have that certificate or whatnot from the state of Texas or whatnot, showing that they're in compliance, that they're able to conduct business here in this great state. So when I came here and saw that, and then also, not to mention the investment to get started here, but look at the mentorship.
I know.
That room that I was in, you had to invest over $10,000 to be in that room.
Whew.
And that was starting off.
Yeah.
Like that. So that wasn't anything else that was included. I mean, and then if you wanted steady mentorship here, you got mentorship on a regular basis that it would cost tens of thousands of dollars to have that mentorship. And anybody out there who's watching this podcast, who's done any mastermind, and I got friends from masterminds from $10,000 to $20,000 to $100,000 to $1 million or whatnot, that people are investing to be in masterminds. The associations are needed. Going back to the ABCs again. So when I was able to wait a minute, I'm able to learn from 7-figure, high 6-figure earners, making a massive impact, and basically that's all included each week.
And not only just once a week or whatever, but this Tuesday, you and I qualified to go to Matt's cigar night.
Yes,
and that's insane. That was like free networking mentorship with Matt at a cigar lounge, and they just announced it on Minect. I don't know if they fully announced it yet, but a similar event like that through Minect, like if you wanted to pay Minect to have Matt sit down, have cigars with you, $3,000 an hour.
That's it.
Just for something we got for free doing this.
There you go.
Just having that association with him.
Just associate, and that's also with being in alignment. And so if you don't understand that, for some who might be listening, if they don't understand that, that's typically why so many people, I want to just throw this out, that's why people also fail in the business. Because we're talking about what was the hurdles, because you got the benefit and you don't value it because you hadn't invested enough.
Yeah.
See, so, it's easy. Oh, it was just $500. It was just $199. Oh, I tried, weak words. I hope it works. Basically you're not committed at all. So if you're putting up that's why they have certain levels investment to be a part of a mastermind, because you're going to produce and do differently. Your habits are going to change because of what you invested. If you don't put anything in it, you really typically are not going to appreciate it. So that's why you're just treated any kind of way.
Yeah.
So I think that's the same thing that's happening here. Some of the people who've already been in business or been through some trying times with stuff, they see the benefit of the mentorship. They see the benefit of being able to get started. They see the upside. Financial services, number one creator of Millionaires in the United States of America. And I think like 67.5% of that, last time I checked, was out of insurance. And so it's a great place to be, even though it's not sexy. That's something else that stood out to me with publishing. Publishing wasn't sexy, publishing books. Most people thought people weren't even looking at reading books or producing books. But I was in that industry, so I know that was a difference. So that's the same thing that comes with insurance. It's typically not sexy, but it's a business that is still sustainable, successful, and
needed
in this world right now.
Because a lot of younger people out of my generation, they hear life insurance and they think, I don't need life insurance. I'm still young. Why do I need it? Why do I need life insurance?
Yep.
And so what's your, going forward with that, what is your like biggest reason why you feel the young people and like people under 30 should get life insurance? That's
a great question. I think that you should get it because you need to change your mind. It's like renew your mind. And typically you're speaking a language. You're not speaking a language that the wealthy speak, so they understand the value. I think because it deals with programming. We're all ignorant to something, and what I mean by ignorant is it's just some things I just don't know. It's some things that I do know, some things that I don't know, and that goes for us all. And I think when it comes to a lot of middle class and below families, there are things as far as programming where we are unaware of things, and we got to change the narrative and the script of how we view and think about money. And I think part of the areas is that we hear about a lot of things that are either tax now, tax later, but we don't really understand tax free. Yeah. And we demonize some of the things when it comes to tax free vehicles because we typically demonize things that we are not sure of, or we're not aware of, or we're not educated on.
Yeah.
So now that's why the richer get richer and the poor get poorer. Typically, it starts with mindset first, because where the wealthy or the rich see an opportunity, we can see as an obstacle because we're viewing it the wrong way. We think it's a scam when they see it as an asset.
Yeah.
So those are polar opposites. So if one person is steady investing something, going back to the question of the reason why somebody 30 or below should have it, because your insurance is based off not monetary means, but it's based off your age and your health. Typically, people are at the best position to get a better premium, to be able to invest monthly to get more access to more life insurance because of their age, number one, and it typically and greater health. Typically, they can find where they might have some health issues or something that can cause a graded situation where it might be more of an investment to have life insurance as they age or whatnot. But if they get it early, they're able to really benefit and put their families in a position of wealth moving forward like so many others do. Where else? That's why, well, Darren, I got to address this real quick, Mikey. So I'm saying,
yeah, go for it.
Well, Darren, that doesn't make sense. Think about what you said. You said the rich and the wealthy, they don't need that for burial. They can pay for their own funerals. Exactly. They're not viewing it for funerals. Back in the day, funeral expenses used to be the biggest expense. That's not the case. People are living longer. The average woman is living to 82 years old right now. So the thing is that because people are living longer and they got more years, but they have less retirement because they weren't able to save appropriately, being able to take advantage of some of the vehicles or whatnot that you and your wife offer to people will be beneficial to them, to allow for them to be able to live the life that they desire and not have to work all their life because their money was able to work for them with tax-free vehicles where they got zero losses or whatnot. Yeah. So that's the reason why I would say that they can have it. And also the living benefits. If something happens to them, you would rather go not drain your 401k or 403b or 457, depending on what industry you're in. And you're able to leverage your life insurance policy while you are alive and stop thinking about life insurance only to death, because the wealthy are using Rockefeller habits to be able to put their resources into life insurance policies that allow for them to have gains with zero losses, and they're not susceptible to the market.
Yeah, because and I mentioned, but the life insurance industry has existed for almost 2,000 years now, yes. Over 2,000 years. And not once in the entirety of that 2,000 years has this industry crashed.
Exactly.
Which is insane to think about. How many market crashes, the dark ages even. Yep. Life insurance was still around even in the dark ages.
It was there with the Roman Empire, man. I mean,
up till now has never crashed once. That is an insane sign of stability.
Yep. The Roman soldiers were taken care of through annuities.
And so with that, starting to wrap it up, one of the last questions is why choose PHP? Why should someone choose PHP to work for? Because there's a couple other companies similar to PHP out there. So why should they choose PHP?
I would say number one is culture, because culture, eat strategy for breakfast. And the reason I'm saying that is because you attract the right person. It's about choice, not force. So when we go back to the right associations again, PHP is focused. A lot of people in the industry are focused on poaching. And what I mean by that, they want people to do all the work. Like, say, for instance, Mikey, people might not be calling you about financial services until you get your license. And now all of a sudden they want to reach out to you. Some of the other players out there in the industry. But what I love about them, they're willing to do the work. They're willing to work with somebody who's not even from this background in this industry. They're willing to do the hard work to cultivate, to go in the field, to build trust, to build a relationship. It's more than just policies. It's about relationships. And I believe the difference between the things that we see going on right now is it's about relationships, man. And so when you keep that in mind and understand the importance of people rocking with you through the good, the bad, the ugly, I think that's something that other companies don't do. They'll tell you a quota or something that you need to meet. They expect for you to already have the skills and the steps lined up to be able to get that done. And then also, if you're doing this, if you don't have people to share it with, just like we were able to have that camaraderie with being with each other on Tuesday night, there are a lot of other people. They're in their cubicles. They leave their office and they have no team. They're just solo producers. Yeah. So just to be able to have life and experiences with each other, like I'm on your podcast right now.
Exactly. Crazy.
It's somebody else in another office for another type of company that you brought up. They don't have this kind of camaraderie.
Yeah.
They're not even allowed to have a personal brand. So that's another reason. See, you're able to build a brand within a brand. Other people will have a cease and desist with you right now because you was trying to do a podcast. Yeah. You wouldn't be allowed to do it.
That's crazy.
So that's freedom is another reason why I chose this company.
That's awesome to hear. Well, it's been great having you on here. That's a lot of amazing things.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Great questions. Thank you for having me out, man.